Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Cigar Talk Lounge, where we talk about leadership, entrepreneurship, social economics, and self-improvement. Today, we're going to be talking about how to build self-control. And I'm using 10 philosophies written by Marcus Aurelius, known as the Great Meditations. So we're going to dive right into it. And number one, self-discipline starts with finding a purpose in life. Your purpose could be something as simple as fixing a flat tire because you need to fix it in order to get back and forth to work, or whatever you need to do with your transportation. To something as great as, let's say, leadership. In order to be a leader, you have to have a purpose greater than yourself to lead other people, whether it be your family, co-workers, etc. Now, number two is counting on yourself. Counting on yourself is the only way you can ever consider yourself to be a leader. A lot of times, have you ever dealt with people that, let's just say, for example, my car breakdown. If my car breaks down and I don't have any means of transportation, and let's say I go to my brother and say, well, you got two cars, let me borrow one of your cars so I can get back and forth to work. Does he owe me that? No. It's not his responsibility to give me his transportation to get back and forth to work, because he has set himself up to where if one of his cars are down, he has a second means of transportation. So I can't count on him or rely on him to give me his transportation. If he does that, then that's fine. It helps me, and I would be grateful for it. But he don't owe it to me, and that's another thing. We should stop feeling like people owe us anything in life. And I think when you have the mindset that people don't owe you, you tend to be more grateful for what people do for you. Right. Now, number three is show up every day. Show up every day. Let's just say you have a workout plan to lose weight, or just to get in shape, just to be fit. If you have a workout plan and you schedule yourself 4 days a week to accomplish your targeted goal, you must show up every day, whether you feel like it or not. You have to push through it, through the laziness. Unless you like really ill, that's the only excuse that would make sense. But you have to push through it. Show up every day, whether it be for the gym, work, starting a podcast, or etc. All right. Number 4, practice voluntary hardship. Now, practicing voluntary hardship could be kind of difficult because it's voluntary. And I think a lot of us are in our comfort zone. So when you're in your comfort zone, it's hard to create an environment for yourself that makes life a little bit harder for you to push towards your targeted goals. Now, I'm going to give you an example of something that I've done in my lifetime. I used to get in my car and go to a completely different state and city. And I would live out of my car. I would work every day, just grind hard every day. I would be so uncomfortable to the point where I knew in order for me to change this situation, I got to keep pushing. Like, there's no excuse. Every day I got to get up and grind. You have to. Like, because I can't, going back to number 3, I have to count on myself. I can't count on anyone. I can't rely on anyone. I don't even know anyone, you know. So that's a great form of voluntary hardship. See, number 5. Number 5, practice dichotomy of control. Practice dichotomy of control, meaning learn how to control your emotions and focus on the things that you are able to control. And if it's something that you can't control, don't worry about it. It's out of your control. So that's why they say it's out of my control. Why should I worry about something that I can't control? Now, this is something that I teach my daughter. You know, she's young, and it's harder to fight your emotions when you're younger. And I've been there. We all have been there. But that's why I'm talking about these things, because we're trying to build self-discipline. When you have a situation where someone is bullying you verbally, or saying little small things or whatever, a lot of times when you ignore those people, eventually it'll go away. They'll go away, and you won't have to worry about them. But a lot of times when somebody's trying to get under your skin and you allow them to do that, they're going to keep doing it. And that's one of the lessons that I'm teaching my daughter right now. And she's getting pretty good with controlling her emotions. But anyway, so let's say number 6, never play the victim. Never play the victim. It's easy to point the finger at someone else, right? It's easy to point the finger at someone else, and when you point the finger at someone else, you can never point out your mistakes or your flaws. And if you can't point out your flaws and accept your flaws or mistakes, how can you fix it? It's impossible. So, I'm going to give you an example of someone playing victim. Let's just say you're planning to start a podcast with another individual, and you got everything prepped and ready to go, and you fired up about it, and they're not really performing the way you are, but they blame you for their downfall or them not progressing because maybe you didn't get the equipment that they need. That was a experience that I went through. So that's why I'm talking about playing the victim. And people always play the victim, so I don't really need to elaborate anymore on that. Number 7. Number 7 is practice delayed gratification. Practicing the delayed gratification means, let's say, we're going to go back to the gym, right? If you plan on getting in the gym and you're eating right, exercising daily, and let's say the weekend come along and you've been invited to your company's a Christmas party. Let's say you've been invited to a Christmas party and you're watching your diet, but you got chicken, pork chops, a bunch of fried food, just things that you know that you're not supposed to be eating. And you decide, well, hey, I could cheat. I'm gonna make this my cheat day. what you end up doing is setting yourself back just for that gratification.
If you don't put the barbecue sauce on your chicken, you twipping.
And that satisfaction for the moment. Delayed gratification is just saying, you know what, I'm not going to touch that plate because I know what my goals are and I know what I need to do to get there. And in the long run, you'll appreciate it. Number 8. Number 8 is an important one. It's ignoring naysayers, which in my terms, I would say haters. Ignoring haters. Haters are people that every time you got, and it's not always necessarily that someone is hating. So with naysayers, you can have a person, for example, let's say you looking to start a business, whatever that business may be, and you go to your friend, auntie, uncle, or whoever, and you tell them, hey, I'm looking to start this business, and this is my plan. And the first thing they tell you is, you're not gonna be able to do that. How you gonna accomplish that? So they start projecting their fears on you.
And a lot of people will try to put their fears on you. You can't do that. No, you can't do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they just projecting. They're putting things that they don't believe that they can do on you. My uncle said I never sell 1 million records. I sold 1 million records like 1 million times.
What you can and can't do. So never listen to a naysayer. Or if it's somebody that you know is always negative, why would you waste your time talking to somebody that's always negative and giving them, because you allow them to control your feelings and emotions. So anyway, number 9, find wise people to emulate. Finding wise people to emulate could be what I would like to say, I like to call mentors, sponsors, or leaders. That could be someone on YouTube, it could be your uncle, father, or whoever, you know, just great role models in your life. Find role models to emulate. Me personally, I used to, well, of course, I grew up with my father, so he was a great mentor. And, you know, after he passed, I started leaning towards entrepreneurship, and I would just find random people on YouTube that talked about some of the things that I was interested in, real estate and trucking businesses, different things of that nature. And I listened to them day in and day out, and that's what I emulated. So the result of that is it gave me self-discipline. Now, number 10, honestly review yourself. Honestly reviewing yourself is basically taking accountability for your actions and knowing what you need to do. And that don't mean that you have to beat yourself down when you examine yourself, because when you have to say, well, I had a goal set. I'm using the gym for example. My goal in the gym was to work out 4 days a week, every day, for 3 months in order to see a result. I was going hard the first 2 weeks, but the 3rd week I fell off because of the Christmas party. And you know, I ended up eating a little more than I should have, and I took off that week, the rest of that week, you know. And so at the end of that month, you say, well, I didn't hit my target because I relapsed in week 3. Don't beat yourself down about it, but understand that this is what caused your failure. So now you have to reset and just go from plan A to B. You know, start over and make sure you you focus to get to that goal. And that's gonna conclude the end of this podcast. I thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll be talking to you guys on my next podcast. Thanks.